mean by what the Hatter will have to say about it? Sid's words had me knitting my brows. I didn't understand why he would bring up Luke. I was also surprised by his suggestion that Luke would have anything to say about it. After taking a moment to regain my composure, I realized the absurdness of those words. I don't know what you're insinuating, but I'm free to spend my time with whomever I want, aren't I? I just met Luke and we're not particularly close, so he is in no position to dictate me.
Right.
He must have detected the note of frustration in my voice. He raised both hands in mock surrender.
That didn't come out right. I apologize.
But his lips held a mocking smile as he pressed on.
He just seemed to be searching for you frantically, Alice. So I thought he might lose it if he saw the two of you together.
And that was your way of warning me?
I can't claim to be noble, but I suppose so. I thought I'd show a little consideration.
The young man who called himself the March Hare might not be such a bad guy after all. His rugged features made me wary at first, but I quickly reevaluated my opinion of him. Sid, do you know why Luke is looking for me? Sid chuckled softly at my question.
I have no clue. He didn't seem to want to talk about it, and I wasn't that interested, so I didn't pursue the matter. Who knows? Maybe he fell in love with you at first sight. You are kind of cute.
Well, thanks. His smooth delivery of those sweet words had me flustered, but I went and thanked him all the same. Sid is no doubt the kind of guy that speaks his mind. That's why he was so quick to apologize earlier.
Alright, I should get going.
While I was pondering my thoughts about Sid, he turned his back on me and started to walk away.
I'm glad I got to meet you. Let's chat some more if we get the chance.
Yes, of course. Bye, Sid. Sid walked away and rounded a corner.
Amelie.
Up until this point, Kyle had been silent, listening to me and Sid. Suddenly, he reached his hand out toward me.
I don't want you thinking about another guy.
Kyle's hands were insistent as he forced my chin upward, so that he was the only thing reflected in my eyes.
You haven't forgotten who you're with right now, have you?
Let go of me, Kyle.
No.
Kyle seemed unaffected by my protests. He wore the same smile that he always did, but his voice was demanding.
Not until you promise me that, from now on, you'll think of me and only me.
I refused to cave to Kyle's demands and stood my ground. You know I can't make such a reckless promise. The look Kyle was giving me now held no sincerity, as if he truly wanted me all to himself or was intent on winning me. I don't think that's how he feels. He seems to have an ulterior motive. We remained silent as we held each other's gaze. I looked into his amethyst-colored eyes in all seriousness, while Kyle maintained his gentle smile. A curious staring contest ensued for a while, but Kyle was the first to speak.
You're right. I'm sorry, Amelie. Seeing you look so concerned about the Hatter made me jealous.
Jealous, I see. To what extent were Kyle's words true? For some reason, I couldn't help but doubt him. He must have sensed my apprehension. He didn't say anything, turned his smile wryly, and he slowly pulled his hand away from me. I regarded Kyle and bluntly spoke my mind. Be forewarned, Kyle. If you cause too much trouble, I'll be tempted to say, don't follow me around anymore.
I see. I have no doubt my Alice would say that.
Kyle must have realized I was serious, for he shrugged his shoulders dramatically. How many times do I have to point out that I'm not yours and I'm not Alice? Of course, his words struck a nerve. No amount of protesting is going to make a difference. It's becoming exasperating. I swallowed my argument and turned to face him again. All right, Kyle, will you guide me through the town?
As you wish, my Alice.
I fell in step behind Kyle as he wasted no time showing me around this town of which I had no recollection. Hey, Kyle, What is this gate? I stopped before a towering gate that piqued my interest. After taking a thorough tour, we headed to the outskirts of town. This is where we encountered the gate. A pale blue light shined in the middle of the door to the gate, around a hollow keyhole. All that was visible behind the gate were lush green trees. I wondered what was beyond this gate.
This area is forbidden.
Why? I wanted to know what laid beyond this gate, so I kept pressing for an answer. Kyle spoke gently, as if addressing a child.
Think about it. A gate with such an imposing lock. It's obvious that whatever's on the other side of this gate is extremely dangerous, isn't it? So, be sure not to get too close. Don't forget.
A dangerous place, eh? I wasn't really convinced, but all I was interested in looking for was the road home. I can't picture my house being behind a tightly locked gate, so... This meant I had no business here. Alright, Kyle. Next, can you show me what's over there? I thought it best not to let my curiosity get the better of me, and to concentrate on finding the road home. Kyle led me all over the place until finally the sun went down.
Amelie, you still don't remember the road home?
No. I couldn't even remember something that might serve as a clue. I was filled with frustration and exhaustion from the walking we did, so my reply was weak. Kyle took in my disappointment and smiled gently as he made a suggestion.
Are you tired? You should rest for the night. If you don't know where your house is, you can always stay at mine.
What? Your house?
Why are you so surprised?
I took a moment to formulate my reply. No thanks! I absolutely refuse! There's no way I'm spending the night at your house!
There's no need to be modest, is there?
Despite my outright refusal, Kyle smiled good-naturedly. It almost seemed like he was amused by my reaction. I'm not sure how you see things, but... I'm not the kind of girl who spends the night with a man who she just met. Especially you. You're dangerous. I have to watch out for myself. I wasn't interested in unnecessarily putting myself in a precarious position. But my refusal seemed to have no effect on Kyle.
Don't be such a poor sport, Amelie. If you come to my house, I'll be able to protect you from everything. But me.
Don't you see? You're the one I need protection from! No matter how adamant I was, Kyle just kept on smiling. His reaction was so out of place, I instinctively knitted my brows. What? Why are you smiling?
I like the fact you pose a challenge. It makes things more interesting.
That was when I knew. Going to Kyle's house is definitely not a good idea. I'd rather sleep outside than go to your house. My reply was perfectly straightforward, until... I heard a howling sound come from the forest. The sound was savage, definitely not that of a harmless little creature.
There's a dangerous beast that attacks humans around here.
Kyle smiled as if he could read my mind.
So, what'll it be? You can come to my house where dinner and a warm bed await. But, if you're vehemently opposed to the idea, I can't really force you.
Fine.
What did you say, Amelie? You know, Amelie, there's such a thing as a proper way to ask someone for something.
I glared at Kyle as he stood there smirking at me. Yes, of course! Please let me spend the night!
That's what you should have said in the first place.
Kyle laughed in amusement. I regarded Kyle with deep resentment. I suppose I have no choice, since there's no way I can sleep in a forest with wild animals. Of course, I suspected Kyle was also dangerous, but I decided I couldn't cut off my nose to spite my face. Encountering a wild beast is a matter of life and death. Kyle might be untrustworthy, but at least he didn't want to kill me. If he did, he would have already done so by now. Anyway, he didn't seem like the violent type. So... I decided to take my chances with Kyle rather than the beasts, and I walked to the forest with him.
That's my house.
The house seemed to be at one with the trees and gave off a quaint vibe. The light spilling out from the windows was soft and gentle. The atmosphere was welcoming. What a lovely house. I didn't let my guard down completely, but I let him lead me inside. Kyle's house lacked a feeling of being lived in. The comfy room was a bit too clean and devoid of personality. The fireplace looked to be broken in, which meant nights in the forest were likely cold.
Incidentally,
Kyle smiled at me as I took in the room.
you must be hungry by now. Why don't we have a dinner? I have a very special guest today, so I'll do my best.
Do you like to cook, Kyle?
Not really. I don't cook very often, so it will be a rare treat.
I wonder if it's okay to leave it to Kyle. I had a bad feeling about this.
Here you go. Enjoy eating it.
Thank you. Something that looked like seafood was wriggling on top of a burnt steak. Sparkling mushroom heads were floating in the soup. A bright purple blob that made little squeaky noises that sounded like screaming appeared to be the dessert. These are very unique dishes.
This is normal in Wonderland. You really don't remember, do you, Amelie?
Could it really be? This is so different from any cooking I know. I shook my head in response to his words and picked up a plate. As for the taste, all I could say was that the taste mirrored the presentation. After we finished cleaning up, Kyle smiled and spoke.
You should rest now. The sweet dream room is back through those doors.
All right. I appreciated his suggestion. I was starting to feel sleepy. But considering how big the house looked from outside, and the actual size of the comfy room, I can't imagine there being a guest room. Which could only mean Kyle only has his sweet dream room in this house. As soon as I realized this, I spoke. Kyle, would you mind if I borrowed your sofa? That's enough for me. You can use your sweet dream room.
Amelie?
Kyle regarded me with his beautiful amethyst-colored eyes. What?
You expect me to let my precious darling sleep on the sofa, while I sleep on the soft, fluffy bed? You know I can't do that.
But Kyle, I feel the same way. This is your home. And to make you sleep on the sofa, while I take the bed, wouldn't feel right.
If you insist on getting your way.
Suddenly, Kyle gave me a devilish smile.
I'll have to resort to force.
No sooner had he spoken those words than he suddenly had me in his arms. Stop it, Kyle! Put me down!
Alright. I'll put you down anytime. As long as you promise me one thing.
Promise you what?
That you'll walk yourself into my sweet dream room. If you won't give me your promise, I'll just have to force you in there myself.
Alright. I'll borrow your bed, okay? So put me down! That's how I ended up in Kyle's sweet dream room. I sat down on the only bed in the room and sighed. After all is said and done, he may be a nice guy after all. But his smile and his actions, I just can't seem to trust him. I found some very cute sleepwear laid out on the bed. The garment looked new. When I held it up against my body, I found it to be the perfect size. Yep, another reason not to trust him. There were plenty of things that raised my suspicions. But I must have been extremely exhausted from all that walking around today. As soon as I laid down on the bed, I fell into a deep slumber.
Oh, it's time for a preview. This isn't really my style, but I suppose I have no choice in the matter. Why don't we take a peek at the next page?
As soon as I realized the predicament I was in, the sleepy haze disappeared and I was wide awake. Kyle! Why, you... This was a turn of events I hadn't anticipated. I realized my voice was shaking with rage. Go away! Right this minute! What do you think you're doing?
I would think that's obvious.
Kyle's voice was still groggy from sleep.
So, it looks like Alice is still with the Cheshire Cat. The Hatter. Luke looks determined to do everything in his power to get between Alice and the Cheshire Cat. He's normally very calm, but he seems to, well, lose his mind when it comes to Alice. I wonder what would happen if Luke were to catch Alice and the Cheshire Cat flirting. It sounds like things are getting interesting, doesn't it? And so, on the next page, the Cheshire Cat and Luke fight over Alice.